Get over yourself already, would ya? Those are the words that I said to myself just this morning. I was sitting in my car, getting ready to go into businesses to present the product that I have. I'm in direct sales, and part of growing my business is having to meet new people. When I was sitting in my car, all I could think about was, how am I going to do this? How am I going to go in there? How am I going to talk to these people who don't know me? They don't, they don't know what I've got. Nothing. I'm making up all of these excuses in my mind. And ultimately, I know that I have to go in there. I know that I need to do it. I just have to get over myself and go in there and do it. I reached out for help first because I needed the advice of somebody who had done what I had done before, and I needed a little pep talk. So I reached up to my friend Sarah, who is in the same business I am, but she has been in longer and has been doing really well. And I reached out to her for some advice, some tips and things, and she didn't tell me a whole lot that I didn't know, but she told me exactly what I needed to hear. She needed to remind me of all of those things that I knew and that I know, and just to get the motivation up to do it. I needed her help in such a minor way for her, because it took a few minutes out of her time to talk to me, but it was such a huge impact on what I had to do. And I realized after getting off the phone with her that I just needed to get over myself. So using her pep talk and the tools that she gave me, I said, just get over yourself already. Get out of the car and go walk in there. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to tell you no and you just walk out? And you know what? That's exactly what did happen. It'd been a place I've been before. I went back in to visit and I got poo-pooed off by the receptionist. And honestly, even though there was a lot of people working in there, it wasn't worth my time and effort, because I needed to go where I felt the momentum. I wasn't getting there. I had to keep going. So, and maybe that wasn't the right way to go about and do it, but it kept me going, kept me moving, kept me motivated to go and talk to the next person. And as silly as it seems, and everybody's heard it, but it's so true, every no leads to a yes. Is one more closer to a yes, and one more is closer to a yes. I got turned down 1, 2, 3, 4 times before I got somebody interested, and she wasn't even the person I was initially blitzing. She walked into the store and I was talking to the sales associate, and she was like, "What is that?" So I handed her a card and we started talking, and now I have an awesome lead that I will follow up on, and everything is great. But I had to get over myself and go talk to those first 3 people and get told no and, ushered out of stores in order to get the yes. And as scary as it was, and I'll be honest, I called Sarah crying. I was that worked up. And even now, just talking about that feeling that I had this morning is something I never want to let myself really experience again, because it didn't do me any good. But once I realized that the worst that's going to happen is no, it's kind of like I didn't ask anyway, but now I know what the answer is, and I'm not going to be sitting there wondering what if. But I got over myself. That's what this is all about, is getting over yourself, however you need to do it. Ultimately, it comes down to taking those steps and just doing it. There is no other way around it. There is no secret. Believe me, if there was one, I would find it. I am trying to, work all the way around. Here it is in the center, and I've been doing all this, and it hasn't gotten me very far. So I just sucked it up, and I got over myself and said, hey, this isn't a big deal. Get over it and go do it. You call and talk to strangers about, personal issues going on all the time, and, personal issues as far as like your bills. You call, you know, a stranger at AP, you know, your electricity company, you're talking to a stranger, but you're telling them your personal business, I'm sure, about your finances and stuff. So you can be open with somebody like that, but you can't just go talk to a stranger to make some money. When I thought about it like that, how silly. It really is so silly. And when you really put things into perspective, you can get over yourself. Look at it from a third-party view if you are having difficulties pulling yourself out of it. Take some deep breaths, and really deep, like in through your nose, out through your mouth. And what I did there at the end was I fully emptied my lungs. And it took concentration to do that. And if you're focusing on that, eventually, you know, you calm yourself down, and then you can look at it objectively and think, okay, what is it that I'm actually doing? I just have to, you know, if somebody else is doing it, what is it that they would be doing? In my case today, it was, you know, they would be walking into a business and talking to them about the opportunity. What do you say? Oh, well, here's what you say. Oh, well, I just came up with what I needed to say because I was thinking about somebody else doing it, and everything came easy, and all I did was go in and do it. And I will tell you exactly who I talked to today. Obviously not names, but I'll give you an idea. I talked to 14 different businesses with, you know, 1 to 3 employees within there. So I'll just be generous and say half of them had at least 2 and the other half had 1. So we'll say there's 14, 7, so that's 21 people just in businesses. I blitzed an additional 2 other customers that were in the stores. One girl I already told you about. So we're at 23. And then I blitzed 2 girls who were staring at my car magnets when I was in the car waiting at a red light. Sitting at a red light, their window is down. I see them checking out my magnet. I roll down my window, tell them to call me, and they go, "What is it?" So I ran and gave them one of my cards. I got out of my car, ran across the middle lane because they were the far left, and handed them my cards and went back to my car. I told you, once you get going, you get going. And I was sitting in my car. I sat there for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just trying to muster up the courage to do it. And it was difficult, but it was worth it. Because now I have a ton of leads that just amazing. And even most of the people who told me no still took a card. I had one lady give it back. And all because I just got over myself and I went and did it. There's no secret. There's no way that you're going to do anything without any, you know, putting any effort into it. There are no shortcuts. And I don't want you to waste your time searching for all of those shortcuts when the answer is so simple and so easy, but we want to overcomplicate things. Like make them really complicated to where we don't think that we can do it, when in reality everything is so simple that you can do it. Because if I was sitting in my car bawling for 15 minutes and blubbering and talking to, you know, somebody who makes a lot more money than I do, just putting it all on the table so I could get some help, I know that you can too. It's easy. It's easy. It is oh so easy. If you found any value in this video, I would love to hear your comments, your suggestions, whatever. I just want to connect with you. So make sure to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to share this on Facebook, Twitter, any social media site that you like if you found value in it and you think somebody else will too. I totally appreciate it, and if you follow me, I will follow back. So I will talk to you soon, and good luck getting your business out there and making that cash and getting over yourself.